And that's where he lives, in the basement. Mary reaches out to Peter, Abel, and Krista and asks a favor of Dr. James, and the believers gather in Hook's kingdom in the basement. They all know something is going on, but they finally get together and talk about it. Mary reaches out, of course. Abel and Krista. These two are great. And you find out, I think they're the ones behind the car defacing, which is absolutely wonderful. Couldn't happen to another better guy. Dr. James holds a dinner to get funding for a project into the earthquakes, which involves the accidental destruction of a recovering alcoholic seismologist. Stegg's initiation goes ahead into the secret society, and Antibus and the headless victim wander the bowels of the hospital, and Elmer uses a corpse to play a trick, but it goes horribly, horribly wrong. Because they said, the corpse looks like you. Not a good thing. If you've not seen this, please do. The dialogue and the characters are just genius. I think they were just the cast. I couldn't have picked better people. Bruce Davison. What a trip. Of course you remember him. He was in House, the movie House. And Elmer is suspected of desecrating the corpse. And this is the body that's wandering around. It wanders the corridors below the kingdom. This headless body is just wandering aimlessly. It's friggin' hilarious. I love it. Hook's new patient is a self-serving attorney who finds himself sharing a room with badly burnt Rolf Peterson, who is Peter's new roommate, who is also the hit-and-run driver. And meanwhile, a seismologist is brought in to study the earthquakes, and his paranoid thoughts on the hospital make him the perfect partner to help Mrs. Drews save Mary. And Drews asks her son Bobby to help her gain access to medical records, and Dr. James holds a meeting for all the staff, which he attempts to ascertain if Kingdom is haunted or not. And of course, Dr. Stegman is like, yeah, no, don't think so. But this Elmer look-alike corpse wandering around with no head, it's just freaking hilarious. You've got to see it. If you like dark humor, you're going to love this. There's a patient who moves himself up onto the transplant list, but he makes a deadly deal with Antibus. Mrs. Drews discovers more secrets about Mary and the Gates Mill fire of 1869. Dr. Hook uses the missing head to gain Eleanor's help in bringing down Stegman. It's great. Steg's day goes from bad to worse as he begins losing his sanity. What a surprise, right? Masgale and Eleanor experience a bizarre dream experience. Hook learns of the two fires on the site. And Draper and Mrs. Drews suffer at the hands of Stegg, the former losing credit on a story to Medical Journal. And Mrs. Drews is confined to her bed. Terrible, terrible, terrible. He's such a domineering, pompous ass is what he is. That's exactly what he is. So, that's Stegman in a nutshell. Okay. Then we have the day of the World Series. It brings excitement to everyone at the Kingdom, except Stegman. But a suicide attempt by a former New England Robins player, Earl Candleton, he sees the tension building up in the staff, and it's up to Peter and Mary to save Candleton from Paul and an untimely death. We have the Reverend Jimmy, who was crucified in a back alley, and his body becomes the source of a series of miracles which affect Nurse Wright. And as the miracles grow, thousands converge upon Kingdom Hospital, waiting for the anticipated resurrection of the Reverend. And then in the meantime, Massengale and Otto are trapped in the morgue after an earthquake. Stagg entices Brenda to destroy incriminating evidence against him. Oh, that must be a pile of paper. And Dr. Hook schemes to get that evidence back with Elmer's help. And of course, Natalie and Mrs. Drews continue to learn more about Mary's death, which was, the flashbacks. It was just horrible. The so-called owners, bosses were just brutal. And Mary's job was basically, she rang her bell to a sound for lunch or dinner. That was the sound. She carried her little bell with her. Okay, we have and now we move on. A Monda policeman patrols near the hospital. He gets knocked down by a blinding light and is brought to the hospital, where he convulses and has seizures. Dr. Hook sees a pattern of the people revolving around the hospital and who experience the same thing. Bobby Drews is sent by Sally to retrieve the old hospital files about Mary. Elmer is sent by Hook to retrieve a file related to the Klingerman case. And Brenda is sent by Stegman to retrieve the same document. So, it's just, everybody's after these documents. Stegman, of course, wants to destroy everything. So, and he starts hallucinating during an operation on a patient's brain, of all things. He sees the disease that Antibus eats, while Steg meets with lawyers in the Klingerman case. And things go on. Yeah, that's not, yeah. He sees Antibus eating the disease. That's, he basically, losing it. He's not really, but he doesn't know that. And you have Dr. James Egg Begley Jr. He keeps his work. Operation Morning here. He's awesome. His Operation Morning, his badges for this. It's great. Elmer gets his head back. Yay! He's finally whole again. Quit running into walls and doors. It is great. Hook shames Stegman in the Mona Klingerman case. And Stegman gets suspended as a surgeon. And as he rejects Brenda, she gets revenge on him. Antibus shows Peter and Mrs. Drews a possible future. Paul convinces Steg to end it all. And Peter brings everyone together to hold a seance. Okay, so that was really cool. And then we have the basic finale of the whole thing. It wasn't supposed to be, but it was. And on All Souls Day, with only hours until the destruction of Kingdom Hospital, the doctors, patients, and staff come together to hold a seance where they learn the truth about the Gates Fall Mills fire and Mary's death. And they must make one last attempt to set things right, while an insane Stegman wanders the halls searching for them, certain that they brought about his destruction. I wanted to see more of this, and I was so upset when they did not renew it. I couldn't understand why they didn't. And little Mary, the little girl who played Mary, she was so adorable. Yeah, she was a ghost, but she was still cute. And, of course, Antibus, where we find out later, his real name, of course, is Anubis, the deity. But he goes along with Mary's mispronunciation. Close enough for him. And he protects her. He really does. With Stegman, though, going nuts. I thought it was hilarious. I thought it was great. I just wish it would have continued. I have it. I keep watching it. I absolutely love this thing. I wish somebody would have picked it up. I really do. I really do. If you have not seen this, please do. I think you'd really enjoy it. Like I said, you have Angie McCarthy, A. Begley Jr., Bruce Davison, and, with the dark humor involved, it is, I think it's brilliant. I really do. Um, I just think that the characters, the cast they had, was phenomenal. Another actor could have been, I can't think of his name now, I'll think of it. Andrew McCarthy, but another, David Spade maybe probably could have played that. But I think Andrew McCarthy was a better pick. It was just great. And, Ed Begley Jr., hilarious anyway, but when Elmer, this corpse was wandering around without this head, it was just, you just get almost like flashbacks to see what he was doing. And he's running into doors and walls and stuff, and oops, went the wrong way, goes back out. It's just great. It was Stephen King at his best. I really, really think so. I absolutely love this, and I do wish another network would have picked it up, but not to be, of course. So, any questions about Kingdom Hospital? If you have not seen it, please do. I think you would really enjoy it. Just like I said, the dark humor and the whole background of it, that it was deliberately set and these people were killed on purpose, basically. All these kids and everything. And it was brutal. And Mary and her bell, that was her job. So, and she's just so cute. And it was just so sad that this moron had to, he wanted the money for the insurance, whatever. So, any opinions about Kingdom Hospital? If you have any, please let me know. Okay, chat room, please come on in. More the merrier. More opinions, the better. See what you think. And I'm glad these characters got together to decide how to make one final attempt to make things right, which was really good. But I do wish they would have continued it. Okay, I'm going to play some more music. When we come back, we're going to discuss one of, I think, this is my top favorite book, and miniseries, of course, 11/22/63. So, if you have read this or seen the miniseries or both, please, more than welcome, comment, let me know what you think, okay? So, we'll be back in a few with 11/22/63.
This is the realm of darkness.
Why does it feel like night today? Something in here's not right today. Why am I so uptight today? Paranoia is all I got left. I don't know what stressed me first, how the pressure was fed, but I know just what it feels like to have a voice in the back of my head. Like a face that I hold inside, face that awakes when I close my eyes, face that I watch every time I lie, face that laughs every time I fall. So I know that when it's time to sink or swim, that the face inside is hearing me, right underneath my skin. It's like a paranoid looking over my back. It's like a whirlwind inside of my head. It's like I can't stop what I'm hearing within. It's like the face inside is right beneath my skin.
Hey yo, here we go again with the pain I feel is a realer in my mind. When I find myself in places with names but not faces, my memory races at speeds 100 degrees. My soul would bleed. The devil must have planted the seed. Now it feels like my back's against the wall. I'm taking the fall. Whenever I call, nobody's responding at all. But I don't know who I can trust. They screaming my name. I need somebody to help me out of the frame.
All I'm trying to do is just master me. All I wanna do is smoke and blast the beat. But something keeps talking to me consciously, responsibly. It keeps haunting me from dusk till dawn. Every day has something for ya. That voice inside of your head got you projected. Paranoia, cold sweat shining on your face, exposing your purpose. And if I ripped off your skin, I'll probably find another person. It's nothing worse than trying to bring yourself up back from the dead. So I advise you listen to that voice in the back of your head. That's all.